Awesome wonders of the lost Lycian civilization. Did you know the ancient Lycians had their own unique script and were among the first civilizations to practice democracy, centuries before the Greeks? Did you also know that the ancient Lycians were one of the few civilizations to practice a matrilineal system, where lineage and inheritance were traced through the mother's side? This intriguing aspect sets them apart from many other ancient cultures. Who were the incredible Lycians and why did their civilization disappear? We have more information on the Lycians' practice of democracy even before the Greeks later in this video. But here's the real mystery. How did such an advanced civilization vanish into the sands of time? Who were these ancient people that fascinated both Greek historians and Persian rulers alike? Their story is filled with resilience, ingenuity, and mystery, and their legacy continues to puzzle historians and archaeologists alike. The Lycians, an ancient culture from southwest Turkey, inhabited the Teki Peninsula, Lycia. They first appear in historical records around 1400 BCE, mentioned in Hittite texts as the Luka. They were an indigenous Anatolian people, possibly related to the Lycians, a Bronze Age civilization known for its influence in the region. Genetic studies now suggest they were a mix of Anatolian and Mediterranean peoples, thriving in a region known for its cultural melting pot where modern-day Turkey now stands. Their Lycian language, which they were writing by around 500 BCE, was part of the Anatolian language family. Unlike their neighbors, the Hittites or Greeks, the Lycians had their own language before they transitioned to Greek under external influences. This linguistic uniqueness has made them a subject of intrigue among scholars, as their origins and connections to other civilizations remain a matter of debate. Please note that the Lycian script has been deciphered, studied extensively, and the language is understood by scholars. The Lycians were among the first people to form a federal democratic government, a system admired by the Greeks and Romans. The Lycian League, a coalition of city-states, was an early model of democracy, where representation was based on a city's size and importance. This remarkable system inspired the later structures of governance seen in ancient Greece and Rome. The League was composed of at least 23 cities, including Xanthos, Patara, and Myra, which held significant political and economic power. Unlike other ancient empires, where absolute monarchs ruled with an iron grip, the Lycians had a sophisticated system of electing their representatives, balancing power among their city-states. You might wonder why Greece is credited as the founder of democracy, since the Lycians had the earliest form of democracy, centuries before Greece. That's a great question. While the Lycian League indeed had a form of representative democracy centuries before Athens, Greece is often credited as the founder of democracy due to the Athenian democracy introduced by Cleisthenes in 507 BCE. This system, known as democratia, or rule by the people, was more widely recognized and influential in the development of democratic principles. Athenian democracy was a direct democracy, where citizens participated in decision-making directly rather than through representatives. This model of governance was highly innovative and became a cornerstone for later democratic systems, including the representative democracies we see today. The Lycian League's contributions are significant and deserve recognition, but the widespread impact and historical documentation of Athenian democracy have led to Greece being credited as the birthplace of democracy. Unlike many ancient societies, Lycian culture was matrilineal. Inheritance and family names were passed down through the mother. This unique structure meant that women played a vital role in the social and economic fabric of their civilization. Women held prominent roles and family life was closely tied to their spiritual beliefs. Lycian tombs, often carved into cliffs, were designed as eternal homes for entire families. The daily lives of Lycians revolved around agriculture, trade, and craftsmanship. Their bustling coastal cities were vital centers of commerce, connecting them with other Mediterranean civilizations. Family units were tight-knit, and marriages were often arranged to strengthen alliances between influential families and cities. The Lycians worshipped a pantheon of gods, blending Anatolian, Greek, and Persian influences. Their primary deity was Leto, the mother of Apollo and Artemis. The sanctuary of Latun was a major religious center, where worshippers from across Lycia gathered to offer sacrifices and seek divine guidance. Their religious beliefs were deeply tied to nature, with sacred groves, springs, and mountains playing significant roles in their mythology. Lycian burial practices also reflect their spiritual beliefs, as they carved elaborate tombs into rock faces, believing that the spirits of the dead would ascend to the heavens from these elevated resting places. Lycia was highly independent, often resisting foreign rule. They fought against the Persians during the Greco-Persian Wars and later sided with Alexander the Great. Greek and Roman influences shaped their culture, yet they remained distinct. Their strategic location along trade routes made them a valuable ally and a frequent target for conquest. Despite various occupations by foreign powers, the Lycians managed to preserve their unique identity for centuries. They had strong trade relations with Egypt, Greece, and Phoenicia, which contributed to their prosperity and cultural diversity. The Lycians were fierce warriors. During Persian invasions, they chose death over surrender, burning their own cities rather than falling into enemy hands. This unwavering spirit was demonstrated in the siege of Xanthos, where Lycian defenders sacrificed themselves rather than submit to Persian rule. Over time, Rome absorbed Lycia, and by the Byzantine era, the Lycian identity faded, leaving behind hauntingly beautiful ruins. The decline of the Lycian civilization was due to a combination of external conquests, economic shifts, and the gradual assimilation into larger empires. Today, their legacy is preserved in the stunning remnants of their cities, standing as silent witnesses to their extraordinary past. The Lycians had significant achievements and contributions and left behind an impressive legacy. Let's discuss a few in detail. Number 1. The Lycian League. The Lycian League, established around 168 BCE as previously stated, is considered one of the earliest examples of a democratic federation. Its influence on modern governance, particularly on the United States Constitution, is quite significant. This league was a union of city-states that allowed for collective decision-making and mutual protection. It served as an early model of federal governance and inspired later democratic systems. The Lycian League had a system where city-states were represented in a central assembly based on their size. This concept of proportional representation influenced the structure of the United States Senate, where each state has equal representation regardless of population size. The League's structure of a federation of city-states with a central governing body inspired the principle of federalism in the United States Constitution. This division of power between the federal government and individual states helps prevent the concentration of authority and promotes local self-governance. The Lycian League's democratic institutions and its ability to balance the interests of its member states were cited by Enlightenment thinkers like Montesquieu. Montesquieu's ideas, in turn, influenced the founding fathers of the United States, including James Madison and Alexander Hamilton. The Lycian League demonstrated the feasibility of a representative democratic system, which became a model for later democratic institutions. The United States Constitution adopted elements of Lycian democracy in the formation of the House of Representatives. The Lycian League's innovative political system and its emphasis on proportional representation and federalism have left a lasting legacy on modern democratic governance, particularly in the United States. Number 2. Funerary architecture. The Lycians are renowned for their unique funerary architecture, including elaborate rock-cut tombs and monumental sarcophagi. These tombs, often carved into cliff faces, are not only impressive feats of engineering, but also provide valuable insights into Lycian culture and beliefs. Number 3. Lycian language. The Lycians developed their own script, which was used to inscribe their language on monuments and tombs. This script offers scholars a rare glimpse into the linguistic and literary capabilities of the ancient Lycians. Number 4. Naval prowess. The Lycians were skilled sailors and navigators, known for their naval prowess and piracy. Their strategic location on the southwestern coast of Anatolia allowed them to engage in extensive maritime trade and defend their territory against invaders. Number 5. Cultural adaptation. Despite being influenced by neighboring Hellenic states and later incorporated into the Persian and Roman empires, the Lycians retained their distinctive customs and governance. They adopted and adapted cultural elements from these interactions, enriching their own civilization. Number 6. Artistic skills. The impressive, intricate designs and detailed reliefs found on Lycian tombs showcase their advanced engineering and artistic skills. These artistic achievements reflect their deep concern for legacy, honor, and the afterlife. Number 7. Political harmony. The Lycian League's balanced representation and collective decision-making ensured that no single city-state could dominate the others. This sophisticated understanding of governance and political harmony contributed to the stability and prosperity of the region. Number 8. Architecture. The Lycians were also prolific builders, constructing elaborate cities and public buildings that showcased their wealth and power. The city of Xanthos, in particular, is a treasure trove of Lycian architecture, with its stunning theaters, temples, and tombs. Number 9. Historical influence. The Lycians played a significant role in the broader historical context, participating in events such as the Persian Wars and the Trojan War. Their interactions with other civilizations, including the Greeks and Romans, left a lasting impact on the region's history. Recent discoveries have challenged our previous assumptions about Lycia's ancient civilization. For example, excavations at the site of Savus, in southeastern Lycia, have uncovered evidence of a previously unknown Lycian city. This discovery has shed new light on the extent of Lycian settlement and has raised new questions about the relationships between Lycia and its neighboring regions. Excavations at sites like Patara and Xanthos have also revealed stunning examples of Lycian architecture, including intricately carved tombs and beautifully preserved theaters. The Lycians were a civilization ahead of their time. Their influence on governance, their unique culture, and their mysterious disappearance make them one of history's greatest enigmas. The ruins of their cities, the echoes of their language, and the remnants of their traditions suggest that the spirit of the Lycians still lingers in the land they once called home. The Lycians were ahead of their time in many ways, especially when it comes to their community structure. They were not only warriors and artists, but also exceptional engineers and architects. Their contributions to early democracy, trade, and even the construction of harbors have influenced civilizations for millennia. If you enjoyed learning about the Lycians today, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Fascinating topics like this are covered all the time, and we would love for you to join the community.